Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Jamie. This is Tradespotting. We're going to do the technical analysis for Gamestop and AMC Entertainment. It shall be entertaining. I'll not have any music today because I'm sick of my videos getting struck down with the copyright strikes. Even when I buy the licenses, they strike me down for other songs that aren't even actually playing. So here we are. And you have me as I am. And you. Ha! Inituro, Manifest Density, Stone, Big Buckets, Alex, Brad, James, Space Monkey, the ghost of Jiu-Jitsu guy. How you doing, my friend? I opened YouTube at the perfect time. Lol. We're made for each other, you and I. You missed me, I missed you too, Toby B. Native Flight, you buddy. Tainted True, hey yo, my friend. The silence is deafeningly pleasant. No music. I am on a chapter duty for today, no fanny buying for me. Okay, chapter duty, that reminds me, we should start the timer, there it goes. And here we are, welcome to the show. I have to flick on a couple of things, get that on the go there. Great, fantastic. Everybody should now be happy. Also, not sure if you've got yours yet, but there I'll pin the Bing Bong t-shirt to the top of the chat. There he is, King Ray. My lord. How you doing, Bing Bong? Hellos. So everyone nice to everybody. Great. We love it around here when people are nice to each other. If you're just joining or you're new, pardon me, or you're a lurker or you're starting up late, let everybody know. Say hello and then talk to everybody and then don't be a lurker. Hey pal, hope you're keeping well. I am, I've just got an attack of the hiccups, but I'm keeping very good. Yo, Stone23. No, we like the 1%. It's the 0.1% we don't like. The 1% actually, there's quite a high degree of velocity of, it's quite a transitory demographic, that 1%. They live and die. And they're quite good, actually. They're also the most generous, the most charitable. They pay the highest level of income tax. The top 1% out with the top 0.1% are net positive, I'd say. But the top 0.1% have somehow, all on their own, managed to ruin the world. Mentally. And for that, we're going to properly French Revolution this whole shit. Whoa, look, I got it all working again. Yes, the ghost of Dan is here. And I can feel him within the electricity. Move these things up. There he is, the ghost of Dan. Thank you so much. And what went into the thing there? Oh, is it? I can't see it. No, damn it. I've updated the old currencies that are supposed to be dropping into yon jar, but it's not happening the way I expected it to. Thank you very much, Dan. You legend. Go F yourself, a-holes. There's Dan, a huge, one of the chiefs of all time fannies. What up, my guy, Emmanuel Delgadillo. Delgadillo. Yup. Are you as Delgadillo as me? Brad Bullish, the 0.1, of course you are, it's your name. The 0.1% make the 99% make the 1%. I think are the problem. Yeah, they do, those sneakies. Those sneaky blibble sneakles. Anyway, I hope, endeavor, in fact, that everybody, if you're new just tuning in now, and you might not know this, but I definitely try to get everybody who spends time here towards that area. I want it. It's not just here to help you pay off your mortgage or whatever, like your credit card or whatever it might be, or get your summer holidays or that. It's not really like that. I mean, the whole idea at Tradespotting is to change your life so that you can change the world around you. It really is. Like, that's the only way you'll ever be able to pay me back, I think, for what I'm doing. So, and a real way of doing that would be you get to be in that 1%. You get to be there. And then you change the world from that position, because otherwise it's very difficult. And that's what I hope happens, really. Yeah, that's the long and short of what we're doing. So I want to get you guys to be that 1%. Tradespotting question. GME MACD 1 hour shows bullish divergence on both histogram and moving average. What is the significance of both parts of the MACD showing bullish divergence? Well, When you say on the moving average, you mean on the MACD line and the signal line, as opposed to on the moving average. And that divergence there is like not even all that meaningful. It does point to potential trend changes, but then you can confirm that on higher time frames than the hourly, 4 hour, daily, specifically, Stefan. This is a short answer. Bing bong gang. Yo, not a cat. How you doing? Adam. Aaron. Yo. Stefan is acting a little spammy, is he? He knows how to make his point, doesn't he? Hey, hit that like, Space Ape. Let's go. Yo. Space Ape, hit the like button. Space Ape. You mean the $5 doesn't cut it? Did I say that? Yeah, no, it doesn't really cut it. No, yours dead. No, it does, yeah. Oh, it totally does, yeah. What I wanted to have here, and which isn't working for some reason, is a little porridge bowl falling in there, and you'd be able to see how much of a difference it makes. It does, it makes a difference. It does. It does, yeah. It makes a huge difference. Thanks very much. It's the little ones that add up, you know. I can't rely on you every so often going, it being drunk, Dan. I have to cast a wider net and have a larger audience of people who donate small amounts so that everything's okay ethically. Ideally, that would be the way it goes. But until such times, there's always unreasonable.shop. Oh, Aaron, that is what he does. It's just very persistent. He's good at that. Yeah, Trey knows, everybody knows Stefan. What did he say? Fried rice to the shrimp. I don't know. What did he say? Oh, yeah. So on that note, right, though, what I am going to do now is I'm going to edit this stream so it's members only. Yesterday, I only got 800 and something views because I got struck down. And so now if you've made it here without being, I'll tweet quickly. I've tweeted, so anyone who makes it in by the time I've clicked. Members only. All channel members, yes, all channel members. Even the stingy ones that are only little chimps, who you think like chimps, they'll eventually grow up and become spider monkeys, and ideally they'll aim to be Kongs, but it seems that somehow it's going the other way. I don't understand that. It's super weird. Gaming, because this is the best game ever made. Oh, do we have a thumbnail? I think we do actually. I think we do actually. I think so, actually. Actually, Jimmy, we do. That's not sorting by date, mate. I'm not stupid. This computer thinks I'm stupid. Am I stupid? Is that what's actually happening? Oh. We'll just go with this one. It's members only anyway. After the time I click the save button, everybody will have arrived. It's going to arrive. They'll keep watching, because if you're not a member, then you won't be able to come back once I've clicked this button. Though if you aren't a member, you'll be able to watch it during it, I'm sure, because you're already in the door. I think that's the way it works. And people will be like, yeah, no, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. But you're already here, so it doesn't matter. It's cool. Don't worry. It's all right. Don't panic. You'll still be here. And the people who can talk, you only have to be a subscriber to talk. So that's not it. And it's just new people. So now there has to be some distinction, because I have to give something back to the members, who are the people who keep the channel going. They are. Without them, it wouldn't happen. You can't really actually live on Dan's fivers. And so much so that it pushes the start time back, because then there'll be weeks where I've got to like actually live my previous life, where I trade everything and to pay my bills, because I'm not going to be able to pay them if I don't. So I have to, whatever, right? It's just the way it is. So I have to give something back to the members, because the members need something, because I know that, because it's like about nowhere near the numbers it was this time last month. So I have to somehow do something more for them. And so this is it. So they know they're appreciated, and there's a distinction. Couldn't sleep. Thank God you're online. Well, I am online. Shit. Well, I can't. If this chucks out more, then I'll have to go back, because I do feel bad now. Already, I feel bad straight away. Bones, you're a subscriber. You're here already. All you need to do is not leave. It's cool. Nobody that's here needs to worry or be upset. You're already here. Don't like the Stones. In any case, glad we got you back. Thanks. Yeah, it wasn't even the Stones. I didn't play any Rolling Stones music. You can watch the video. It's now back up. Nah, and you can see for yourself if there was any music in there licensed by Universal Music Group yourself. You can check it. There isn't. Just taking the fucking piss, man. Total jokers. Sorry, Trace, but I give all my porridge to Rocky. That's great. I like it. It means more over there than it does over here. Plus, you're a member anyway. What are you talking about? Saying sorry for you're a fantastic legend. So yeah. Hi, Joe. Hi, Kim. Hi, Brad. Hi, everybody. Hi, Space Monkey. Hit a like button. I'm on fire today. Oh, somebody help out. Space Monkey, they're on fire. Hola, apes. You don't do that to me, says Jordan, and not 45. But I'm not doing nothing. It's all good, right? We're all happy. We're all good. I don't know. Like, I get that. That's the way it is, right? It's happening. Though tomorrow, it'll be Friday. It'll be Tradesloshing Fridays. We'll do a recap of the week. You know, we'll be online before market close, so you'll be able to see, like, as time's coming down, what it's going to look like, at least an hour beforehand, like I promise. An hour beforehand, we'll have the max pain, we'll have what's likely to come up next week and for the rest of October, and then we'll have market close AMC, GME, and then I'll cover whatever you want me to take a look at. Likely we'll do lots of, also we'll do lots of, thanks Brave DeLorean Buck. Banana Earth is boarding this for the unreasonable luggage fee. Yeah, wow, there'd be so much fucking fees on Banana Earth if it was up to me, but not for you guys. Not for the members. Look at that, and whoa, we got these amazing effects. How can you resist, eh? It's like Sweetie Shop or something. For adults. Is it for adults though? Certainly it is based on the advertising guidelines. Tradespotting, YouTube wouldn't allow chapters for yesterday's video, so these are in Discord. What's that all about? Oh, because of the thing and it taking me down. So these are in Discord. Excellent. Thanks, Lisa. I'll have a look. That's very much appreciated. Cheers. Is there a stream schedule anywhere? Usually I start an hour before market close, but this week what I'm saying is, like, and you yourself as being the member is like, so now I feel guilty saying it to you. Hot for you is that I had to put it back so that I could trade. I was trading 1 inch a lot today to try and pay the bills and whatnot. So pushed it back a little bit. So here we are. Oh, hello, Cosmic. It's a rave in this beer. Yeah. So here we are, right? And it's gone clicking the button now because everyone must have arrived by now that's going to. Yes, Night of Alerts, things like pretty cool actually. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So there, I've hit it. If you tell me if I'll see if you can still chat here. Shepherds, Bing Bong Doomslayers. So I hope everybody and you know, don't feel bad, and well, it'll be gone now if they can't. Anyway, it's now members only. So I hope members get notified about it. If they do, great. Post to members. Invite members to the live stream. Post to members. Yeah. Sweet. Posting it to the members. Hello members, I'm posting this to you. Live now, members only stream. Post. Cool. So I don't know, can I see anybody talking? I can't over there. Can I see over here? It may well be that we can only members get to see. Nah. You know, may well be that way. Who knows? I don't know. I've clicked the thing. I've hit post. Did it post it or not? How's post again? Did that work? Hurry up and work. I get back to the gang already. Tradespotting. Anyone not watching and liking this is a fanny. Haha. Well, is it really that good at the minute? I'm not 100% sure. Right. I only see members talking. So, someone who's not a member, try and say something. If you're even here anymore. I don't know. Are they? Likes 122, concurrent viewers 96, so that would suggest that they're 95. It's going down and down slowly, so maybe I don't know. Anyway, this is the way it is. I hope very much so that I haven't hurt anybody's feelings. I still only see members talking there. Who's this Tradespotting guy? Says he's an imposter. He's an imposter. It's all members only, Tradespotting. Chat's all members only, is it? Nope. Participant modes. Who can send messages? Subscribers. Minimum subscribe time 1 minute. It says members only can only click to arrive, but I think non-members can watch. In which case, I hope they can. I don't want to have kicked anyone out. I really didn't mean to do that. So if they have all been kicked out, then I'm like, you know, it's counterproductive for me, for the channel, and like I also will piss people off. I actually really didn't want to, so I hope I haven't kicked them out. If they have kicked them out, then I'm sorry. Right, so it is what it is though. Like I said, I'm not going to go explain it again. Who can be bothered, right? Not that I don't care. It's like, no, I know nobody cares. I know nobody cares, right? So, other than the people who are now not able to do anything about it, and as is the nature of life, then we can't do anything about it. What are we looking at here at 1 inch? There we are. Flipping it. It's working. I can't talk. That's fine though. Oh, sweet. It is working. And you did a very generous thing there. Ah, shucks. What a lovely chap. How would you pronounce that? Pames or Pams? Pames. Say Pames. Thank you very much. That's appreciated and great to know it's working. Awesome. Right, so let's do the TA. What are we on at the minute? 1 inch. That's because I was doing this earlier. I thought that you get a little touch up there. That was quite good. Thank you very much about that trade. And I'll get back into it if we catch this upward sloping diagonal, which I would put on like there, and then I'm back in that, and then whoop-de-doop-de, that'll be a re-entry for me. Whoa-de-do-de, diddle-oo-de-do-de, diddle-oo-de-do-de-do-bow. If it goes there, what is this? It's a member-only stream, and I'm going to subject you to that. No. When if I was going to do that... I would at least do it like that, wouldn't I? Right, so... moving swiftly on, Ethereum putting in like another good day in this trend. Slightly higher. Is it bing? What did that mean happen? Did that mean that... What did that mean that happened? Why did the lights not flash? I'm confused. Remember, only chat seems like great idea for when GME is back into 300s too. Doesn't it, Brad? Doesn't it? It does, doesn't it? Seems very funny. Yeah, like I know other big channels, much bigger than this one, have it so it's only ever members can chat. And reverb on the Wimboways. Yeah, I'll have to fix that. Hope it's not persisting now with my own conversation. Tell me if it is. I'll try and do something about it. Know that I know what it might be. Actually, I can see something it might be. Am I reverbing? Ooh, another muffaduna. Ooh, another muffaduna. Is that what song we were just singing? It might be. That was a new member alert. You're freaking kidding me. Where is it? I should 100% be able to see it on here, but I don't. I don't see it. Audio's good. Thank you very much, Ray. And he would know. He is the king of around these parts of these sort of things. So you've also got a flash in your rocket crop D. Man, Ethereum likely does whatever it does, comes back to the area it leaves. Bitcoin. It is put in this consolidation pattern. It is touched up. It's well, like, holy shit, you know, my lines are the best lines for the breakout zones and the thing all called when price action was down here. Oh my goodness. Anyway, likely consolidates and tries to push on again. The question to look for is like not Bitcoin itself, which is interesting. And compare it to the price of the futures, and you can see they're all very close, but it's no longer in backwardization as i.e. the future prices of Bitcoin cost more than the current price. It should be very bullish. I'm on the smaller charts here, but it's a run through Bitcoin dominance and put in that high, as we said, like I talk about quite often. I've got the best lines in the world lines, and there's the lines here. And we broke through this one. That's where you're aiming for in terms of dominance, but where would that come from? And will there be this retest in the meantime? And does that mean good things for alts? Well, one of those alts might be things like ADA. Nice position on it, collected that when it looked quite dodgy, which is nifty. And so, yeah, you're back above the 886. Nice to see this sort of thing. And you've got the 1272 extension on that previously. From then you come back above the 236 now, heading for the 382, and then test your previous highs at 618, and that'll put in like what looks to be this sort of ascending triangle. The question will be, does this supply line turn into a channel and price action move to the upside that way, or is it a measured move from the breakout with this being a bull flag, in which case ADA going on high again? That would be a good move to see something like that. Not sure if it'll go that full distance, but or if in the meantime you will see slightly lower, higher lows, but further touches down there. Something what I was thinking along those lines though. Shibu, big drop today, huh? Came very close to these lines, huh? What did I tell you, huh? Drew this on, right? And then that happened. And, you know, I was worried for you because a lot of people jumped in on that shit and they were like, well, I'm up loads and that. And then, you know, it only got to my line, and I haven't touched this chart or even looked at this Shibu chart. Oh, I've looked at it. I was watching other people trade today. It was quite funny. And then, anyway, the point being, like, I appreciate the time. And then, thank you very much to those people. And then here you got this, whatever the fuck, man, this divergence on the second high. It also had my lines, so it doesn't go beyond them. They're like Hadrian's Wall. They held back the Romans. It was the only country in Europe to do so. With Scotland, and my lines are the only lines in the world that are ever going to be interested in the price action. It loves it, man. It can't handle enough of it. It can't get enough of them. So anyway, you dropped back below that area, and then you came into this horizontal, recovered it, touched the 200 here. This is interesting because on the 4-hour time frame, you've come straight to your 18 period moving average on this when it looked like, oh, where's it going? Well, it was pretty freaking obvious for a number of reasons. That's also if you slap on your Ichimoku cloud where it's likely to go to, and on different time frames. Here, it's your 50 period, it's just below it. Your 200 period is far away, but on the 15 minutes, you can see that's also where your 200 period moving average comes along. 1 hour, 50 period, 4 hour, it's your 18. Right, so it's very obvious when that was dropping, that was likely where it would go. You wonder what's going to happen next. Well, on these smaller time frames here, 15 minutes, 1, 2, 3, there was 3 touches of divergence on that downtrend. On the next low, likely gets picked up, whether it's a higher low or a lower low, we'll see. Go back to the 4-hour time frame, you can see looking across here, this body close is where you're currently being held on your body here, but below it there is a wick. You've gone below that on its previous low and recovered above this moving average. If you break below there again, is that going to be this horizontal support? It's unlikely. Usually it'll go a little bit lower and you'd see it this wick low, right? 0.402107. Depending on what contract you're trading, it might be slightly different details, but that's the area. Bigger chart, please, Jimmy. Ah, sugars. I was on this screen. You were looking at my ugly mug. Oh my goodness, huh? I also know it doesn't fit on the ticker, but that's not my fault. I didn't invent this thing. I have fucking 58 gazillion trillion coins and a decimal places of bazillions just to try and like hype it up and whatnot. It's total pump and dump scam. The only people that talk about this like it's good or there's anything going for it are people try to exploit the volatility because itself it trades within a huge range and they're trying to make money in that. It's not, they're never going to, like, this thing's going to do nothing. It's a joke, but you can make money off it. But how do you do it ethically? Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm making up for it by helping all of you people. What are you doing? Yeah, so there you go. Well, the milkshake for me. Facts. Back to these things. Whoa, look, and I've got a whole different camera. Oh my God. Coming at you from the heart of the Enlightenment. There's your Shibu. The retracement was particularly obvious. You should look to your Ichimoku cloud and you see where that went to and where it's likely to go to next. The trend on this thing is that it'll likely get picked up at some point. I know how everyone looks at this. That, as you can see, I don't want to stretch the charts too much together. You can, when it did its other thing, right, with its disaster, that whole period of time took like a little bit longer than now, but the extremities of the move were the same amount of time that this has done it. So you're wondering, like, where does it come back to really? And like, there's various ways of looking at it. I've already got the Fibonacci, but we'll draw it here. Low, high, go all the way across. Just so it isn't on top of itself, really, and you can see it. Your 236. We went through that, and at that point, you know, what does this do, right? It could go on to 618, and it's quite a huge, massive dip below there. On that time frame and that perspective, it might look like it's going back, slip on the Chimochikochiclode, or on your one, you could slip on your Bollinger Bands here and drop down and see the hourly. And you see, you're right in that area already, along with the 18-period moving average basis line in that negative slope. Touch the top of that at some point, test this downward trend, and you'll see what happens if there's continuation or not. Oh no, it's 30 minutes, you're already coming in, body closes at your previous low, your 200-period moving average is here. Your 4-hour resistance, which we'll see in a minute, but it's slightly clearer here on the 30 minutes, is at this zone. The low of that is just under that, all those decimal places at 2. So Scotland does celebrated one of its most lauded sons, Ronald McDonald. Big charts for the big boys and girls, please. Remember? Okay, thank you. We're on the bigger chart. Thank you very much, remember. Thank you. That's appreciated. The donation as well. You're very, very, very generous. Thank you. The Ghost of Dan. So Scotland celebrated yet Ronald McDonald. Well, there has to be a reason why they called it that, right? Is it so that you'll trust it because, you know, Scottish beef, right? Obviously, Highland coos. You know, everybody knows about Scottish beef. They do. And if you probably don't know much about beef. And so, doesn't hurt that, does it? Plus, Scottish people are nice, and I think that probably helps. And then, what else are you going to call somebody with big, massive red hair and like that ridiculously white face and that? He probably is Scottish, right? He probably is. And then, also, well, what is it? He's up making the money flipping the burgers, was he? He was making the money with the branding, calling himself MacDonald. But the MacDonald clan and the Stewart clan, you know, you look into that and you're like, there's some serious beef there, I tell you. Tell you, Dan. Which clan are you from, as it happens? Would you know? Would you happen to know? The clan makeup is just an evolution of the Pictish war paint. Exactly, yes, that's exactly what it is. So it's when Hadrian was writing back to the emperor in Rome, and he was like, we need to build this wall, guys, because we're fucking screwed. There's these crazy ass guy coming over the wall shouting hamburgers, and he's called Ronald McDonald McWilliams. Anyway, what the fucking hell, right? So you've got your Shibu coin there, and if you have, what are you doing with it? Because it's been falling off a cliff. There are a number of areas where you could have taken longs in that, and they're within these tiny moves. I'm sure lots of people did. You got this double bottom here. The momentum is on this time frame. Not saying there's anything terrible, right? On the lower time frames, maybe you are bottom out. Here's a bit of divergence. Second touch of this low. If the RSI covers here above this periodic bearish control zone, and your ADX starts either to turn down, or you get a very different picture on the DI minus DI positive, it could be good because you've got a good sign here and you've got a potentially good sign here. Then on really, 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 really tiny, stupid time frames, which is let's be frank, right? The people who make money off this get in and out of it often, and they trade it on smaller time frames, and it's absurd and ridiculous everything to do with this. So here you're looking at, or else you're just taking complete moonshots and whatnot, and that's fine, but it's not a very good use of your capital over time, and you can get rich by trading with being greedy for those compound gains instead of like wasting all that opportunity cost. So here you've got a second low, and that's what it is an opportunity cost. Well, in the 5 minutes you've dropped back into that bearish control zone. Maybe you're looking to put in some sort of trend line though, and that's quite possible. It's just not a particularly steep incline, so a better trend line there would be appreciated. Yeah, man. Like you can see, as it does seem to do, and it is in an uptrend, it does have much better than this, though it could be the start of a recovery. We'll see. Up down again to 1 minute. And that true, that trend line is there, but it looks like it's already potentially broken here. And then that only takes you down to the bottom of the bearish control zone, where it does likely bounce from anyway. So you'll hold it on the 5 minute. It's about making it onto the 15 minute. It may even well be that at this point on the 15 minute you hold this bearish control zone, come back up and test your own moving average, and you're looking like something like that, which is similar to before, and you get some sort of recovery and comes up, test one of these moving averages, probably around the 2815. Now, why am I spending so much fucking time on that piece of crap? Anyway, I'm at them. Why am I clicking on that? I'm not doing this. What am I doing? I'm supposed to be doing the real stuff. Wait, seriously, why are you at, Jimmy? Nobody's interested in fucking Shibu coin. Especially not members only stream. How's it going, members only? Hope you're all good. Maybe I should make it so it's not a members only stream, but only members can talk. Because now I feel like members, new people that aren't members, can't get even to see it. Or it could turn up and maybe we'd see it. I should do something like that. I'm going to have to do something like that. I feel bad. Right. And I can't keep feeling bad all stream. Right. Who can watch it? Just for frick's sake. Think of something where only members can talk there. Ha. Yay. And then that's what it is anyway. And then, what? Details. Is this where it is? Visibility. Public. Right. Done. So it's back now. It's back. Yo, we're back. We're back. Although you still can't talk, but you're back. You're not back. It's just if you're arriving. Anyway, we're not spending time on that. And what am I doing? What are you doing, Jamie? Where are we? AMC there. We're on AMC now. There's the lights. What does that mean? Chris City! 1 inch / ADA. Okay, great. We'll go and do 1 inch / ADA. Seeing as we're here. GME and AMC, obviously market's closed. Just touch on that. AMC closed at 38 spot 14. Think about that. You know, it's positive on the day. I like it. It's a good move. GME. Hard to say that this hasn't so far doesn't look pretty good, isn't it? It's hard to say. So, and it closed at 172 spot 12. What does it do? Post market between a Thursday and a Friday. Never rarely, because something else you'll find me caring about. Because I've got rookie shows to watch in the morning, so I know that everything's cool, naked, turning up again after that pullback. Hope you were able to take some profit. Look at that, Jesus. Pardon my language. Well, I shouldn't draw things on charts, should I? Because it just makes them happen over and over and over. It's ridiculous. Rolls Royce. Yes, well, it's all a similar story, isn't it? And you're broken out here, now you're going to trace that. And jeez, man, honestly. Right, anyway, we're going to go at, you want to do add on 1 inch. Did we look at Shibu too much there? Probably did, to be honest if you honestly. Right, well, I've got a little bit about add on the chart. Thanks very much for that, Chris. We'll go back to GME and AMC, obviously. Don't worry about it. Like, obviously, that'll take the majority of the time. So don't worry if that's what you're thinking. If you're like, oh yeah, but get to it now. I will get to it. So I've got all this drawn out already. Like, well, that's the previous fib, and now that's good. And that here was good, but we'll just take it off. And this was also very good, very good. There's your low, there's your 236, 382, and above it, previous resistance, interesting. 55618 is the next level. If you break through this, hold it, open, close 4 hour. It's going to go up, hit 2, spot 332 again. Positive sign on RSI, on Khors. Anyway, put it here properly instead of just falling through it like I'm crashing down a set of stairs, right? Weekly. No, I'm not fucking doing the weekly. What I'm talking about. 4 hour, yeah. Okay, right. And I deleted fibs already, didn't I? So, but I'm still nowhere near in the end of the fib deleting end. Right, okay, oops. I was doing something off this, and that was the TA from this from recently. So if you saw that yesterday, it was epic. And what's this? A measured move from here. So, no, are we on the log chart? Yes. What is that? See, I wish I could remember what I came up with then. Let me turn this off and I'll see. Right, so you've come out of this and it was likely actually something like this. Where have you seen that before? And the W bottom, and you've got the RSI increasing as the price is putting lower lows, it's putting higher lows, also putting in higher highs. And in the context of a downtrend, that's not good, but in the higher lows, in the context it is. And when you put all of that inside a wedge, it makes sense again. Break out of it. Measured moves, likely what we've already done most of. Let's call it something like that. Now, I'm not putting all of my faith in this wedge, but measure move out of that, the 361, the 1618, and the 3618 from this extension from that. This one here, that makes sense. And then look left, what do we see? That makes sense. 257, 249, 2485, whatever. Here, yeah. These extensions, pretty much a zone in and around that area. Right, so delete all of that, right? So let's start again the T here and see this is on 4-hour time frame. Does not look like a top in formation. Seems like consolidation. You're below the 200, but you're above the 50. From your previous lows. For goodness sake, I thought I deleted y'all. Delete. Delete. Go back. Is there another low I should take this from? Not really. Right. Pardon me, and now I've just ripped off screen. Great, really smart there. So you've dropped below your 236, which comes in at around $2, 2.4. But you've got a proper test of your 382 and recovered, so that subsequently went back up to there. So this is the range at the minute between these levels. Breaking out of either side of it will likely take you to a horizontal level on either side. Well, the first one's above here. You know, you're not looking at this previous high. Should you get above this now, because it's different in that at that point when you put in a high, you were below the 200 period moving average. Here, if you did that again and put in a slightly higher than here, you'd be definitively above the 200 period moving average on the 4-hour time frame, which is like quite a big deal compared to some other things. Mike Fitzpatrick, you and Rocky are the best. Team Curran. Yay, thanks, Mike. Tennessee Texan, the ghost of Jen Campbell. How are you, Jen? Where's your head? If you have time, would you check out Sam? I held it from November the 21st to April the 21st. Interesting. Then it started downtrend. It looks like it's turning around, but I would love your thoughts on the chart, friend. No problem, Jen. You're so generous as well. And yourself above Mike, Team Current. Jeez, fucking right. Brilliant. Yeah, let me write that down. Gotcha. It's at 2.3 already, nearly. Yeah, so if it gets a 4-hour open and close above this 200 period moving average, that's really freaking good for it. Above this out level of horizontal support and resistance, and above the 236 again on this Fibonacci, and you'd be able to say, well, this Fibonacci retracement maybe failed. Sure, it was a top at that area on the 4-hour. Go back to the previous top on the 4-hour. There's an origination. What does that mean? Or is that a new member? That's Sarah with a sticker. Thanks, Sarah. Is that a pair? It's a disco pair. Is it? Jimmy's, I don't know what's going on. It's changing colour anyway. So you had this 3 reasons why above that level is important. Look left and there's your horizontal resistance, which is really important, right? Not that we just draw on for like other reasons across here, but look how important this one is. And the range and the Fibonacci's and whatnot. And then when you're looking here at 382 again, I suppose they're well through and clear of any bearishness even in that move, despite the fact that it turned around after it dropped below here. So this is an important area of support. This area of resistance, obviously very important. This high above, it's like, in the context of this uptrend, which is what this is on 4 hour, higher highs, higher lows. You're not really worried about, like, as you weren't here, you weren't worried about this one or whatever, you know. Here you weren't worried about it, you got above it. It was 1, 2, 3 is slightly above it. Then you break it again 4 times and you're through. So here, what have we done? We call that once, we give it another test. It's like not going to be in at these silly levels, it's going to be up here. So that's what you're aiming for. Should you break this previous resistance? That's up at 3 point something, which is quite good because earlier on today it was at 2.0 something. And I got some of it, quite a big chunk of it, in fact. So, and on leverage. And so here you go. And not that I didn't do that. I don't do that. That's silly. Don't talk about that. So then you're here and there at a take profit level. That's fantastic. But there's also re-entry places along the way. That's why the 4 hours where we are, and we're talking about long-term trends in that sense, especially referencing those moving averages. You can see that you've got lower and lower momentum to the downside. That's positive and might be hidden bullish divergence on the RSI and on the MACD. And the downtrend represented by the DI- is completely dying here. While you've got a positive slope on the ADX, which is fucking great news, right? It is great news. It's just like you drop down early time frame. You know, you've touched the top Bollinger Band, right? You didn't manage to persist up there, although it was horizontal level at the same time. Come back down, test these moving averages. If it gets to the center line, bounces up again, the basis line of the Bollinger Bands, then it'll go back up to the top one and test its previous high, and you'll have put in 1, 2, 3. Maybe you could say that would be close enough for it to now try and go through again. Having put in a series of higher lows at the same time, it might well be positive slopes, positive splay. Looks good on the moving averages on the early time frame where that stuff starts to become important. On the 30-minute time frame, you're above the 200 period moving average. Your RSI streaking up there. Your positive trend is taking over, and that, even though you're only on the 30 minutes, you can see the momentum is with the trend moving up, higher high than this previous area. RSI, look back period, too far away to compare it. Within the context of this trend, nothing wrong with it. Very positive, in fact. And then if it makes it back into the bullish control zone that quickly, having been in it once before, you'll just get another step up in resistance. At which point, what area would you be looking to? Well, if you break this level of resistance, 2.44 perhaps. And then in the context of this bigger move back up to the 4 hours to have a look at that sort of thing, if we take it and off this Fibonacci looking left, this is your high. This is your low. This was your 236. You well and truly broke that and held that afterwards, and then you're aiming for the 618, and that comes across at the 3618 and takes you back to the beginning of the TA when we first drew all this on and then deleted it, and here we are back again. 3618 of this, the 618 golden pocket retracement of this drop down Fibonacci from your all time, like your most recent high to this most recent low. On the 4 hour time frame, you can see that golden pocket retracement and the extension, full extension of this move here itself, which could be measured in various different ways. This is your XTRA and your W pattern. And then it's like 382.5, you know. Opportunities in there here for an add a move up to 2 point, even like 2.6 if it breaks these important levels at the minute. That might be where it goes. Take profit target 2.382, then up again at 2.43, and then again at 2.53, and then more at 2.59. And then if it does make it above there, well, great, good news for ADA, but looking left horizontally, that would be quite difficult without some sort of a retrace. Possibly put this sort of thing in the cup and handle formation on a 4-hour time frame and then go on again higher, and we'll see what happens with that. But it looks like it might do well, and then onto 1 inch, back to 1 inches. Every little counts. 1 inch, 1 inch. Boom. We recovered the center line there. Tested up the bullish control zone. That was a higher high in RSI. In the context of a downtrend, that's not fantastic. But then you have put on higher lows as well as the lower highs. It's actually just a period of consolidation. There is no obvious trend here, and if I were to speak to anything, it's a 4-hour and you're above both the 50 and the 200. There is a golden cross coming through there. You've tested that. Price action was above it at that time, and it recovers above the 18 period moving average. Having tested that, that's so very positive. Not having dropped below the center line RSI and being still above its own moving average on the 4-hour, having persisted in the dominant trend being to the top side with your Rocky Outcrops DMI, the positive slope. Yo, gotta stay fucking jackcasting. Back fast tomorrow, Chris? Quite possibly. We'll have a look. I saw it in the shop and nearly threw up on myself. So we'll see how I feel tomorrow when I look at it in that same shop. Now we're in an uptrend, and this is a lower signature on your oscillator, but a higher low on the price. And in that context of an uptrend, maybe this is representative of the same, but by the same thing causing that about the same about the other type of divergence. I saw these lows when you had the lower low on price action and a higher low in RSI, and that was in the context of a downtrend. So that's the divergence. Interesting here. It might then, you would see that when it was looking to flip this part of the trend, hold the center of this overall formation, which it probably is doing. Like, I mean, I'm not going to bother measuring out exactly, but you can see yourself, right? There's your top, apart from a number of little extremities, mostly at the start, and then there's your bottom within this sort of thing. Can you please come back some of that, and within the center, you know, somewhere around here, it's where the 200 is, it's where the 50 is crossing that 200. Did it once before here. After that, you got a big move. What was the extension on that, just out of interest? Because, you know, this is the sort of thing that you also, like SHIB, get huge moves on. When the 50 crossed to 200, at that point, you'd had, in the context of an uptrend, that's that same divergence you were talking about. It's also present on RSI, and that might also, I'll know, but this is stronger looking, in fact. And you had a similar picture on the DMI just after this cross. Yeah, so at the point you broke that previous cross went through, you had an increase in price of 83%. You know, an 83% move. You could trade that from, you know, lows to highs. You think it's really extreme, but it's just in this channel it's been trading in. And now it's about whether it captures the center line of it, which would be interesting. The 1 hour drop down, you can see similar picture, less price action on the screen though. Let's get that less of that and see. Yeah, there's just like quite a meandering uptrend. Positive cross came through such times. After that, you're looking at your other moving averages to dictate trend, and holding above the 50 is great. It's incredible, right? Getting 3 touches up against the Bollinger Band means it's likely to go on again. Recently had an hour that pushed it right to the top and then retraced more than 50% of that candle, but it's not going to go below the 18 period moving average. You're going to get a positive display on these shortly. You've also got the same picture of momentum. There is a momentum play coming in here. The RSI says that it's one, this is holding itself on moving average, and then the center line here. Your DMI is flashing. At some point it's going to stop flashing. Price will move away from there, and it may have already happened. Has it? No, still going. You're above your own horizontals. This is very positive. You're now making those Bollinger Bands move up. You've just put in a new high in this look back period. This is good. Having tested the basis line on this, which I think is what we talked about some point. Was it yesterday or did we not? Or was it earlier? Yeah, you got this. Is it going to keep coming back though? Let's check this in a second. Overall, right, your 1 hour time frame. You've got a really strong RSI. You have held your own moving average and gone up again. This is given the sign of volatility, but you're not actually breaking any horizontals. So price action might come back here, but depart from this point. It has a tendency to bounce off these Bollinger Bands, and it has touched the bullish control zone and has a distance to go there. which it does likely do. Maybe it comes just below the center line, comes up again, in which case, you know, you have got this potentially triangle there. Retest that. Is that actually like a wedge that we'll see happen in future? In which case, instead of coming back to test the top side of a ass ending triangle, which is what, you know, you could say that's happening right now. If these two touches and this breakout area and this break above this zone was important there, and you could go back and say it was this high and it was this high, and you could say how important that line was and that, but only relevant for this formation, you'd say, is it an ascending triangle? And you say, well then, yeah, potentially, but then also like, it looks awful lot like a channel in that case here. It could be a wedge that goes like that, sure, in which case, be unusual to see it at that part of price action. You've only got two touches on this side, and you've only really got two here. So you've got no reliability over this formation. But it does seem slightly more realistic to find that here. And you do see something similar. On your RSI, though, you do have this as a wedge. So the question comes, how does this situation evolve? And what it seems likely to happen would be price action would come down, test the demand line, and you get three touches after your 1, 2, 3 touches. That would put you in at 3.15, say, something in around those lines. Be testing your 50 period again, your 200 period would be coming up. You'd be losing a lot of the negative trend, of the lower price action that contributes to these moving averages at that point. You'd get a quite dramatic push up on your 200. Should you still be above it? That'll come up. 50 period will start sloping up if you can get above it. All that happening in when? A couple of days? Tomorrow, later on tomorrow, the day after? Having tested down here and gone up again, it's likely to test its previous highs at 3 point what? 3, not previous all-time highs, but in this thing here. Space, Alexa, don't play them, damn right, don't paint it green instead, yes. Paint it green. We were going to celebrate Tony Pecus getting his head whacked off, but he's at work, so I'm not sure how to do that, other than to cheer about how great it was yesterday to chop off the head of Buy and Huddle. Now, Diane Huddle, I think. Where are you, Diane Huddle? Hello, everybody. Yeah, 150k above a mil. Lol, what's this? Is this what we're putting on a re-entry? Is this a re-entry on the 1 inch? Anyway, these are also looking diagonal sloping lines. The truth of the matter is you're looking at this on 4-hour time frame, and we've already talked about that, haven't we? And then we dropped down to the 1 hour. I expect that's what we did anyway. Can you please all just stop it? I didn't like the diagonal lines on this time frame. Go away. Oh, jeez. Jeez Louise. I should just leave all the analysis on, shouldn't I? And then it's like there to look back on and celebrate and stuff. This is why I'm like, why is that not on the chart anymore? It's deleted all of it said. Why is that not deleting? Wow, you're so annoying. Oh, it's because I'm on this stupid tool, innit? Good one, Jimmy. And you've drawn all those little dots all over it. Ah, it's so nice. I need to see a video on how to sell on my broker. Who's your broker? Right, so really what you look at on this is daily time frame. Keep these two lines on here. That's where it's been in there since it's crypto has done its retrace. This is where 1 inch has managed to go to. Itself a tool that helps people with decentralized exchanges. Those becoming more and more crucial to the overall ecosystem, and this, as such, this has a place. It's maybe a little bit niche, but that doesn't really matter when it solves the problem so well, and that problem being so important and so widespread. To have 1 inch, it's a good idea in that overall future ecosystem. There he is. I'm here, dude. Excellent. Wilfric, are you here? We're looking for price action to keep it's in the center line of this channel. Is this what I said about this, or is this what I said about ADA? Anyway, it's doing a similar thing, even if it isn't or not. You're looking to hold this and go up again. Top side of it's at 4.39. At that point, you're looking and saying, well, it might go back up to 7 plus. And in that sense, this is one of the things that could do a 100% move and wouldn't be all that crazy. Slightly different from ADA when you're thinking, like, if it does do a 100% move, it being at 2.29 at the minute, and you slap that onto a weekly time frame and whatnot, and you can see, well, its top high is only at, it's high there, like it's in this trend, you know, it's where it's putting in these highs. So what is it likely to happen, you know, and these two things with what is quite a similar chart at the minute, should ADA go up and start putting in new highs and the market overall start recovering? Things like 1 inch has been put in a series of higher lows and touches of divergence in the process. Is that going to just push back up to its all-time high again, right? That and pulling it there was a 100% increase. So about where you want to deploy capital and like how you might then split your risk management across different trades, you might want to put slightly more attention on 1 inch than ADA, though, despite the fact that ADA up 3.6% today and went 1 inch slightly less, 2.2128. So yes, so that also, like, it's on its own chart, it's got a little bit more to go, whereas ADA is at the top, so maybe that also factors into your risk management. 18 period on the 15 minute, catch that and go up again, that'd be good. It has then put in a new high. It's just, this is a cross, and how does it respond afterwards? That was a higher high here, higher low there, and does that continue on smaller time frame? Looking across there, horizontal levels, this is an important one. 3.4, and then looking here, 4. And we've done all of the other stuff, haven't we? We've drawn on these sort of things. It's at the 618, having held the 236 and made it this far. Is that as much as it can go without a test lower again? How low would that test come in? I mean, sure, it could go to 2.6. Or it could drop down to the 382. It's just that would be breaking the horizontal levels that it put in a lot of effort to get above, which are at 2.9. So 2.9 and change. If it does come down again, that would be where I'd enter it a lot more, I'd say. And I'd be aiming for those extensions. We're talking about 786, the first one, 886, so these Fibonacci's then above. And then hopefully, if you were able to manage that trade properly, you know, let your runners run, see it run back to its all-time high. That's up at 7.96, which is more than 100% increase from where it is at the minute, and certainly is from lower down. If you were to get one of those trades on and retrace, it's at take profit level at the minute, is at the 618. We like to buy at support, not resistance. Should it go on through here and turn this into support, sure, we could buy it at this same price, but at the minute it's testing it, and who knows where it's going to go. That's just what I'm saying, you know. 3.178 having already come back and tested it once, though, that might constitute that. So we'll see what goes on. Partly the reason I'm saying that is because I've already got a position in this, and I don't want to influence anybody else. And this isn't financial advice, but that's what the crack with 1 inch. Yeah, so I'm also looking at this. You know, the 1618, it's a 5 point something, like 5.9, 5.895. The 1272 is at 4.787. There's a range on this thing's fucking massive. Eh? It could make big bit of money. Anyway, I'll not make a big bit of money because I'll be here talking about my friends on the internet. And you just jealous I've been talking to fun, friendly people on the internet all day. Hey, yo. Brad, not sure the US government will be able to stop this, even if they wanted to, considering how international it is. What about that comment with Gensler? Seriously, man. GME, that's what we like to see. Yes, so here you're looking at this concept of how patterns evolve and psychology along with it. You can see that on the big picture, GME, well, I'll define what's on the charts here. You've got a number of horizontal levels of support and resistance that are important because of where price action and body closes have come in before, and those define those zones, those liquidity zones, those that come alongside other areas that have potential support and resistance are marked out as important levels with these orange lines. Those other things that they might be confluent with are Fibonacci levels. Those are drawn from lows to highs or highs to lows, depending if you're an uptrend or a downtrend you're measuring. This one, to me, looks like an uptrend, and those significant Fibonacci's then can be considered to be this retrace from this high down to here, or other little moves to measure possible extensions. But if you're looking at the context of price action and where you've come from, then it has to be the Fibonacci from the low to the high in around here. And if you do look at that sort of thing, you can talk about what one of the things like Rocky Outcrop said about this GME after it made this move. Sure, it dropped below here, but it recovered to 236, and price action is above the 236 of its biggest ever move from its low to its all-time high, and has been for months. It's bullish as fuck, and anyone who tells you different has no idea what's going on with charts. Honestly, they're all going to lose their houses, and they're absolute idiots, and I've done as much as I possibly can for them. Right, so this is why there's horizontal lines on the charts. This is why one of those is a Fibonacci. They're important. This is a Fibonacci. Hey, Jamie, what's long and hard and full of sea men? A submarine. And this is also things to look at here are my girlfriend. Mike, did you make that one up yourself? You're gonna need a little, maybe not need. Well, who am I to judge? More practice, the better. So keep it coming. So she said, right. So you've got your ascending triangle here, which is potentially important, right? This 3 touches would constitute you're leaning on a little bit of your own judgment with this one. But there's like 3-day, 2-day closes that make this body closes that make that area relevant. Then you've got this body close and this wick high. And so that's the 3 touches that I'm going on is define this as an ascending triangle, right? Now, they may or may not be debatable, but it looks pretty obvious to me, right? And it's hard to argue with me, right? The way I construct the arguments make it so that you might think I'm making a definitive statement. And actually, I'm only setting you up to lose. But look here, there's 3 touches on the top side of that. It's interesting. The bottom side of it, it's much clearer, right? You've got maybe 8 or 9 touches. They all put in quite an obvious, distinct pattern on chart. Ghost of Wolfric, there you're there, Wolfric. Can we chop off Tony's head? Can we get it done now, just as we go split between the GME and AMC TA? It'll be in 2 minutes' time. What's a big grey and comes in quartz? Your hands? Your hands, those dusty diamond hands of yours, all scuffed up from beating the crap out of people's heads and chopping them off. Your sword? Is it your sword, Wilfric? Tradespotting, what's going on? Hope we're not waiting on AHD to move because it just went to F me all day, because it just wants to F me all day long. Hi. This is the cross. We all have to carry. We all have to bear a cross, and yours is spelled considerably more than just one big T. It's actually an AHT. Well, we could look at AHT too, of course. My brother, Mama Gemma. Let me write that down. AHT, and we done 1 inch, and we did an elephant. Good one. That's a good one. Right, so you've got your very rude Wilfric. Oh, I thought you were talking about your sword, though. There's euphemisms there. Euphemisms as well, right? You've got your channel here, seems apparent from price action in that sense, but you've got your ascending triangle here. Why is this a channel then? It's not been drawn. Well, it's because the measured move, that's the first touch between the top and the bottom of this ascending triangle, the measured move of such takes you to what would be the top side of this channel, which I've drawn in speculatively, right? Nobody talks about this. If and when anyone ever does, you know that they got it here, or it was so late in the day by the time that happened that it's not relevant any longer. And this isn't the first time I've drawn this on. A number of people have seen it before. I've done it on other channels. Just everybody knows it was Tradespotting said so. Anyway, that also comes if it should be at this point of this triangle. in line with the full move of this, the full extent of this Fibonacci time zone, which has defined highs and lows throughout the nature of price action here. It caught this low and we came back down to $40. It caught the subsequent high. We came back up to 370 change. It caught the next low and we were in at around 150. And then the next part where this tells part of the story is at around December time, right? Between it's the middle of December to the back. That chunk, right? The third in the middle. Anywhere around there, you're likely to see some big moves on GME. It's also the earnings that come just after are traditionally the best in the history of these type of companies, and in particular GME. And the earnings call after Christmas is likely to be really, really good news. Right now, I'm not just saying that. It likely will be, and that's because fucking everybody's going to be anyway. Right, I'm not going to go into that. Technical analysis for today's episode. The measured move from your ascending triangle also comes in line with where GME's speculative ascending channel comes in at. That's in line with your previous all-time high around $480, at which point you might then see a retracement within this formation to test the breakout zone, which could be that part of this triangle, or it might have gone on beyond there and be one of these wick highs that it comes down to, or it may well be instead a Fibonacci level from the retrace here. And what might take it up there, right? Well, we've done this long-term TA a number of times recently, but you can see that we're in a Gartley pattern here, right? This is a bullish Gartley. Potentially. It's going to be where price action turns around here. You've got your X to your A, and then your B, your retracement there comes in at the 618, your C here, and then your D potentially comes in here between 166 and 169. You got that spot on. We call it Corey Bing Bong's harmonic, Rich and I, even we'd be generous, but I think, that's right. It deserves credit where it's due. Good to see Corey doing this shit, especially way ahead. So you've got your test of your moving average likely to come in at the same place as this other measured move on this smaller and more zoomed in look at price action we've got here, right? We've dropped down, although we're on the same time frame, we've zoomed in here, and you can see the right leg of this harmonic wave comes with a bullish accumulation pattern in the sense of a wedge, and which the measured move of which, right, this is again, see the same top as first, the measured move of that takes you up to the 618 of this right hand side of price action here, the C to the D. Really likely you test that if you hold the 236. Yo, donation from Gaston, guys. I think I'm getting jacked. I think I'm getting jacked now. Gaston, I think I'm getting jacked. I think I am. And so at this point, you've got really good reasons to buy, right? This is like saying things that it doesn't always say. And at the previous lows within this formation, you didn't quite have as strong and as obvious and as good a sign. As well as like the nature of this measured move taking you to a 618, and then where else do you look to above, and what are the likelihood of those things happening? Well, each one will lead on to the other, and it's all about opening and closing 4-hour candles above these important horizontals, which are defined partially by this 50 period moving average at 190, then the 200 period moving average at 197, which is also the golden pocket, and why I think price action is likely to push up towards those levels. Then you've got the 786 and the 886, which would be a further extension of that move had you broken the 0.5 and put in positive signatures thereafter. Then you'd be looking at 786 and 886, this Fibonacci, and that'd take it back up to $209, at which point you're saying, well, we might as well just go on and look to the C point here of horizontal resistance at $217 and change. And from a Gartley and looking for harmonic equilibriums, the 618, sure, the C point, sure. Then above that, you're looking to the A, which is the 1272 extension on this thing as well at $232. And I know myself that there's 225 is interesting horizontal. So if you get above that, you're definitely going here. And then that's just that part of that move. It's likely actually, if all those levels are hit without any sort of real hesitation, or with positive retests thereafter, should there be any, this is actually looking like it's going to the 1618. That's like $255. And that's where GME is likely going to, right? It's likely going to here, and you're going to be able to get a chance to get in here nearly $100 lower when we called this low. Or should there be any return to those areas in price action? If they are 169, spot 69, great. Below that 151, also great. This harmonic could be a different variation of a similar pattern. It could take us actually down further, and the D point could be an extension all the way down to 125. If it is, fantastic buy, because there's going to be a huge bounce there for various reasons. On the daily time frame, you've already touched the 200 period moving average. That would have to take you below it. You'd come back up there. You'd be testing the pattern and the 200. Absolutely nothing to worry about. The idea that that's even remotely possible, stupid, because the slower to manage your risk if you're going short, as we've said about these levels, they're all such big jumps from one to the next that shorting this would be a stupid play from any of these entries. You're also a big chump tick to the next one, so it would have to hesitate before it got there and start then going that way. And like, it's just having the momentum signature for that, especially not when you look at your oscillators. For example, the RSI, you've been in this downward sloping bullish accumulation pattern here. You might not have known what's going on, right? Because it isn't immediately obvious. Like, the ascending triangle isn't obvious until you've seen 1,000, and then the ascending channel that you might then form afterwards isn't obvious until you've been through this countless hundreds or countless thousands of times. So it's not obvious straight away with these candlesticks what's going on in the overall psychology. But when you look down at the RSI and you see this signature that repeats so very, very similarly every time, your low on price action, your high, is also the low and the high on the RSI. Obviously, right? Not obviously, but good. Those highs higher when the price action is higher, lower when it isn't. Okay, so that's like, this seems to be valid. The lows here coming in lower and lower and lower in the context of this uptrend price action managing to put in higher and higher lows, actually. That's bullishly divergent, and those subsequent moves after price action puts in a bullish low is to break out of the wedge, retest it, and then go on and put in the next high. It's done it once, it's done it twice, it's done it 3 times. This is the next time. And the next time means 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on the top side resistance, right? 3 makes it significant, 4 makes it weak. Any others start really undermining the thing, right? What camera at? That one. So you're looking to get there, you're looking to touch it a couple of times. It's brittle, it's fragile, it's like bone china, and it's a long time ago they made it. Up here you're thinking, yeah, I think, right, we can manage to make it, you know, hit that, break that, your next move, a fucking massive big chunk, all the way up to $490. And there's nothing unusual or out of the ordinary about that with regards to classical charting. In fact, it's dead fucking obvious that it's been going to happen for ages. Anyway, so you've got a harmonic. Within that, you've got an extension to the 1618, $256 plus. You break your horizontal resistance, you do it on a 4-hour open and close, and then a subsequent open. You know, you don't need to be gassing to get jacked after that. It'll be quite volatile, quite big moves. The volume will come back in like we haven't seen it in a while. You'll start seeing positive moves on the top side of this RSI and on the MACD for the first time in a long time, and you'll see price action do what it's done here. You know, all these moves were quite violent when you look at the RSI and didn't fuck around. It just went straight there. Pardon my language. So yeah, I mean, it's not. It doesn't. You know, whoops. So that's what we're looking at for GME, and now I need Wallstreet to chop off the head of Tony. Off with his head, Wallstreet. Off with his head, please. We'll have to get the gamma ramp drawn out. Hopefully, Harriet, when she gets off her lazy backside and does some of the work for the background images, then we'll be able to have a head-whapping scene. Wet ass perfunctory head chopping off experiences. Everybody's welcome. It's not even members only anymore. Tony Pecus, your last meal, absolutely. Well, I hope you've had it because it's gone now. You're our meal and it isn't a last one. Slurping up 1 or 2, 151. Wouldn't that be nice? Well, I did it. Did you do it? I'm buying anything below 180 to not ruin my average. I buy anything to not ruin our average, but of course I buy at support. Nice. Some good averages here, considering what they were like when I first tuned on to the interwebs with the GME. Tony Pecus, thank you for your sacrifice. Oh my goodness, it's gone. He's done for. It's dead. We've heard the word about the bird, but what we didn't actually hear was whether or not was there a noise with it. I think there would have been, right? That's some part of it. What is this? Was this some new style you've got, Wolfric? Wow. Really got the full experience there, Tony. Jeepers creepers, when's it going to end? What is this, Wolfric? I'm really surprised what is going on. Huh. Wow, that's it. Oh my god, stop it, Wolfric. Is there anything of him left? Frickin' hell. Tony, well, save some for us, Wolfric. Brought in stinking festering corpse of a dead odorous colon, $4.99. Welcome to the club over there. The odorous colon is a significantly stinky part of. Tony, thank you for bleeding out the red. Well, look at all that sangria all over us and in my eyes. I love that sting. Thank you so much. Wolfric, calm down in future. There's no need for that. Needed to sharpen my claymore last year. I got that impression. You were sharpening the shit out of the thing. Hey, I want to see Tradespotting. Hey, I want to see. You didn't get to see it. I didn't know about the magic trick then. The magic trick to watch all of the things from behind the scenes. How thick is the kid's neck? No, it's Tony Pecus. So quite considerable actually as it happened. Perhaps that explains something. I think maybe we should all buy Liechtenstein. Hey, that's a brilliant idea, yeah? That's a brilliant idea, Joe. Let's all buy Liechtenstein. Those of us who are left. His name was Tony Pecus. His name was Tony Pecus, though it better never ever be again. Do you know the rules, Tony? No longer this name of yours that it is now being given up as a gift to the gods, along with your head, which we're going to use to flippy flappy talk to them and tell them all about why we want price action to go up. Explain to them the nature of harmonic patterns in this particular Gartley. Talk to them, chill out, back and forth. We'll use the bottom half of your head to flippy flappy and chat and get our message across, and so much appreciated. Where are my eyes, Tradespotting, says Just Kim. Where are my eyes? This is like Shakespeare Act 3 nearly, Kim, so you don't want to be the one that had the eyes up until now. You want to get to the light now, understand the truth now. And Deaf, member of Project Banana, has a name. His name was Tony Pecus. Pardon me, medium rare, please. Beach oven, get yourself down to the beach oven. We got Tony Pecus wrapped in palm trees. And I can see that everybody, all the kids are all down there already. So yeah, we're looking at this. This is GME, it's measure and move. It's the ascending triangle, then moves into an ascending channel, which may also end up in some way, turn how, somehow, come how, whatever, and it end up being influenced by, or currently under the influence of, this, which is a potential supply line running across price action. Where does it come in at? It comes in at around that 618. Within this period, you've touched the bottom twice, you've touched the top once. Likely you do go on and touch the top again, see what happens before there's any resolution to either side of things, in which case this is your low, this is where we buy. We Doomslayers, we buy at support, not resistance. And we buy and we hold. And we hold 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 some more. I'm going to look at a couple of things for a couple of people. We've got Sam to look at. Sam. We've got AHT. We did 1 inch. We did add a did GME, so we got AMC left to do 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 boo boop boop do do. Well, look, all this drawing's all done neatly for us to talk about it. Talk about it. How is everybody? Is everybody having a great time? Did I do that on the right chart? I've got just me on this screen. When did I change to just me? Tell me you were able to see this stuff, right? You saw some of that, right? I was on the charts, right? I didn't do all that GME shit without being on the charts, did I? Yeah, it does seem like Thunk Puppet is calling. Calling me over, Thunk Puppet, yo. Right, if I get these organized properly, I could see how many people were online. Slightly lower than number. And I could actually see the chat at the same time. And I could see my charts. And I could see that what you guys see in the live stream. He has changed it again. Who changed what? No, it's just a bit of talking, lol. Okay, sweet. Thanks very much. Ow! Oh, eeks. And then what was over here? This is the thing that makes the lights go. Is it still working? It should be. And then audio and then timer, it's still working. And now I'm missing the other stuff. The other stuff. The other stuff. What's he talking about? The other stuff. Him and his other stuff. Chat, eh? Eh, chat? Look at this. This is funny.
Bottoms up, son.
Ladies, can you tell me where to come on the bike? Crack on.
Iron Brew. Scottish Brewed and Girders. Check it out. Donation for flowers for Tony's demise. Oh, just Kim, that's so nice. That's so lovely, but I'll spend it on beer, Kim. That's so nice. But we've got loads of flowers, Kim. The camera ramp is dressed in flowers. It's constantly like that. Those flowers covered in sheaths of now beautiful, shiny, radiant red. Sugar. Did I just admit I'd spend that on beer? Sugar, I did. No, flowers. I might do flowers for my mum. I don't know if I can stretch to them for Tony. Thanks, Kim. Tony won't care anyway now. He hasn't got no head. I just have to throw it there. Tradespotting is fucking cool. What are we throwing it in there? Oh, Tradespotting is fucking cool. Thanks. Just throw that in there. I just have to say, you're right. Okay, I'm back. Okay, you're back. So we'll go on AHT and then we'll go on AMC because Bama is back, right? It's back at its lows on this period of, again, this period of consolidation. Is it accumulation or distribution? Well, it's increasingly not doing anything despite the fact that the price action is at lows. There's less strength to the trend. And that trend itself might be turning around. It's been in a degree of flux a number of times. It's had to persist under a downtrend for ages here on the daily time frame. You see, and it only just recovered that. And actually, to be all honest, like, the last week of September was when things started to change, at which point it started to make a difference on price action too. You know, what formation were you in here? Are you back within that sort of thing? Is that really the relevant line? See that this obviously broke it once. You can there you've still got this trend's intact. Is that going to persist on daily time frame? 1, 2. Is this the third touch? It seems to have moved off it a little. Your wick outside of it will have washed some people out. You look left, that's a horizontal level of resistance / support. Down below it's 12.70. Above that, it's that one we touched already at 13 and change, and then it's bounced back up to what might be this supply line that's relevant again since you fell back within it, and say what you did it is then one huge candle from quite far away. So I would say this is to a degree relevant. Having wicked off it since you've come back there is also relevant. So you want to close above these levels and then test these sort of 16 and change to see that things are really actually going differently, because this take profit level proved to be quite strong looking left, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're above it. Next time you're touching it back below it again. So interesting. The 236 on this. That's correct. It comes in at 1910. That's where it'll push to when it does get above those other horizontals that are relevant. But there's a number of them. Let's go from this low to this high. See price action down here at 786. Any further than that, you would think 886 is at 1287. It's not as low as your previous resistance, so we've likely go on to that area down to 12. And then I personally, if I wasn't in it or I wasn't trading it or I didn't know anyone that did, then I'd be like, well, go on a wee bit more so I get some bullish divergence, and then I can get a nice wee trade that'll take me back up and help me manage my risk at a reasonable level so that I can keep something on the table and something in my pocket. Does it look like it's going to do that? Not necessarily. Daily time frames, this is now very not telling you much. Like, this, like, so not telling you anything. There is a potential change here on your RSI or DMI. Just here, because that's exactly the same 4 hour. You've lost your own moving average, but it did have a good move having tested the bearish control zone. This, not saying anything. There's so little trend strength on the 4 hour, so little trend to either side. Bling. Gaston, hold for me and I'll hold for you. Cheers, guys. Gig. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gaston, gotta go. Jack, thanks so much, Gaston. Everybody's... Gaston's brilliant, isn't he? He's so good since he's turned up and he's been freaking like... I don't know, permanently jacked since we first met him. It's brilliant. Thanks, Gaston. Oh, have a good evening, Gaston. Thank you so much. You're a generous and lovely guy. Thanks. What are we looking at here for? So we're down to the 4 hour. This is not as bad as it might seem. You've managed to test this line. That's positive. You're within this formation. That's understandable. You're actually looking on this in smaller time frames. See how are people trading at 1850 period. Here's your 200. It's above this demand. So that your same players are this horizontal looking left. Does this go back to 1486? We'll see how the overall market looks tomorrow and ends. Maybe I'll go into SPY for 60 seconds after I've done this and see where that likely talks about taking. The Doomslayers graveyard looks overcrowded. People must be dying to get in. Good on. Yeah, so there's your positive reason for price action. The reason that price action was positive might have been something to do with this negative cross with the 50 going through the 200 on the early. And you are obviously going to get a test on the 4 hour. Your 50 comes in at the same period and you have tested that once. Nothing similar on the downside, but then there is this demand line. You want to do better on the RSI. Just come on, AHT. Not done it on the lower time frames yet. But this... If it does prove to be a higher low, it'd be good. It's just it's in no man's land. Then negative science. Now you're back into negative trend on RS and DMI, which I keep calling RSI today for some reason. Held by your own moving average. That's negative. That's at the center of this last move, though. What is that? Is that about the 50 hours? It must be about it. Well, it's just slipped below it, move it back above it at 50%. That's okay. This could continue on. Test this 200 again. See. It's all about whether it covers like some sort of momentum. You're not seeing that yet. What about to the downside? Is there any bullishness on this? Is there any divergence on this? No, there isn't there. Sure, you can look between all this thing and see if there was, and that like likely takes you to the 200 period moving average on a 15-minute time frame, like I always say. And there you go, to you the 200 period, and it was your first take profit zone. So I don't know. Now you're looking at this thinking, is that higher or low? This is a higher high. Is this a higher low, or is it more of the same? Capture that 200. You're above the 50 on that 15-minute. See, so it's all about what SPY does tomorrow. So let's see what's it ended like. Hey, what about Jamie's lines? Seriously. I mean, like this stuff here, like this looks like incredibly unpredictable price action. But then, why are my lines already all over the shit when it didn't happen yet? And I drew it all, and you can check it all on the internet. So you're above your 50, it's crossed through the 200, you might have a test there. It would also be nice that would close the gap, and that would be interesting. Does this sort of thing that tricks people and catches them off guard? Does this happen tomorrow? Well, yeah, likely it wants to, but it would obviously open up and trick people, hit up here, go beyond it, trick people, hit this horizontal at 4444, spot 404, back in again with this previous high on the left. Everyone gets excited about the fact that it is going through like meaningless levels. Well, it's tested this area. It was important when it dropped below it. Doesn't mean it fills that gap. This is such a screamingly, like, there's your 50 period moving average is going to be there. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 important reasons very recently. To the golden pocket here, gapping up to that makes sense. Lots of people laugh at that, I imagine, today. So this is interesting. It's going to come back down to 436, and that'll be as close as you need to get in terms of closing gaps. That's the thing. When does this happen? You have to keep an eye on stocks opening range tomorrow. Will be important on all of these things that we look at. Opening range tomorrow is something to bear in mind. And keep your eye on SPY as it's happening. I want a cup of tea, but I ran out of milk. No, I didn't run out of milk. I ran out of tea bags. Didn't I tell you that was likely to happen if I didn't reuse them? And I didn't reuse them enough. So here I am, poor porridge eater, out of tea bags and everything. It's a disgrace, really. Inflation. What can I do? Inflation. It's out with my control. Apparently it's only temporary, but that ain't going to make up for those tea bags I lost, is it? So this gap came up, filled, like most, if close enough is near enough, filled this other gap. And doing so created this other gap. Rocky loves this sort of shit. And it likely comes back down past the 200 on the 4 hour. We close it, also be around the 50 period on the 1 hour by the time it gets there, which is also similar to where you'll find your 55 exponential drop below that. That'll be a little bit of flux for a while. Your 50% retrace on that Fibonacci from your high to your low here, having gone, or your low to your high most recently, having gone beyond 618 and come back and retested it. If you do drop down 0.5 as your next level, should you not hold that horizontal and then immediately back above it, you'd say it might be bearish. So if I was your tea bag, you'd never run out. Oh, there's something lovely about that, Dan. Thanks. I feel all warm and fuzzy. So you look at that in the morning. Fix retracement here. It's going to pick up. That's going to be the gap fill. It's going to fill its own gap at the same time. So freaking obvious here. There's also a line above, so we'll probably go with that because I drew it. And what else do you need to know nowadays, right? So that's that. And now we're really waiting on the AMCTA. And the last hour it was positive. They had this. I clearly drew a lot of these things because I try to emphasize importance. And that's great, right? So fantastic. In the context of that, is it's like one retracement that to that level back since bearish price action, lower high, lower lows. What happens next? Your RSI strengthened, held the center line, went on again. You've got a positive trend on your Rocky Outcrops RO, Rocky Outcrop DMI. You had overall bullish divergence between these lows on price action and their MACD, so that's positive for momentum. On this side of things, you've yet to see desperately strong amounts of positive momentum. I'm sure you've got a cross, but your 200 period moving average all the way up at 42.54 is too far away to rely on as a target. Mike Fitzpatrick is talking about Spanish fireman. I know he is. Wow, Jamie, thank you. I just caught up and I wanted to say your TA is so user-friendly. I find it difficult to look at graphs. They're called charts. They are charts, Mizzy. don't look at graphs ever. You don't need to. You look at the charts, as it's part of my dyslexia, but you make it easy to know what you mean. Wow, thanks so much, Mizzy. Everybody else says it's incomprehensible and I mumble all the time. So that's appreciated. I think that actually what you're saying is that you've learned a lot, you're doing very well, and now you're freaking following along, which is fantastic. You know, sometimes my old mum doesn't understand me, Mizzy. And I haven't got very many long-term personal interrelationships, so if you're managing to follow along, I think that's probably all credit to you, to be honest. I usually chop people's heads off long before they get to understand what I'm saying. So congratulations. But if it's true, thanks very much. I hope people can follow along. I do try to do it in a particular way. I was saying to this Rocky the other day how funny it is the way I talk about TA compared to how I might think about it in my own head for my own trades and that. Because everything I'm obviously doing is like speaking to someone. Which camera am I at? The wrong person now when I'm looking at the wrong camera. But everybody is speaking to everybody. I'm going to do this AMCT in a second, but I'm going to get a drink or something from the kitchen. What can I put on in the meantime? Something that people run away from, and then my watch time decreases. That's probably what happens. Probably what happens. Isn't it, Jamie? Probably what happens. I should have something that I can do in the meantime. Stupid of me. Oh, I could do it. Nah, not do that. That's silly. Well, but well, I'll just do this and then maybe quickly go afterwards then. That's maybe better overall. But then the AMCTA and maybe baby people are looking for this specifically, tuning in to me specifically for this, in which case, sorry to keep you waiting. What is this? Wow, there's no donation. Where was it? Super chat. It's 6:14. All right. Ding, 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 ding. Boom, 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 boom. You see what's supposed to be happening here? I can't tell you about it because it'd be so cool and fun to see it when it first happens, all of the things that are supposed. But come on. Jar work. Thank you for being lovely and helpful. 449 there as well. You're generous. Yeah, thank you for being so nice about it, Mizzy. You're totally welcome. When the dude from Georgia was telling Gensler that GME buyers should go to jail at the hearing, I thought maybe me and Jamie will be cellmates. Dreamy. Yeah, we're both going to be in the Supermax. I don't know if you get jail cells with people. Do you get to sell at Sarah Shell in the Supermax? I suspect we'll be in one of those cells you can't even sit down in, though you might be talking about sitting down might be too much of a break. Super chat. Jeepers creepers, Mike Fitzpatrick. How are you doing today? The day you posted on Twitter, GME is going to explode like 10 times. What the heck did you see that said it was going to blow? 420, hot fire. Is that a joint? Thank you so much very much. Holy shit, man. Face density as well. What's happening? Thank you so much. I always thought, just assume we were all reading your thoughts while you're doing TA in your own head. I always just assume we were all reading your thoughts. Yeah, it is kind of like that too, because I do try and have a conscious stream while at the same time develop some sort of logical construction. And I do think about it as if like, oh, people will get like 4 or 5 hooks every paragraph and that'll be enough to follow along with. And then so because of that, it's the structure of what I'm saying. What am I talking about? I don't know, right? I'm making shit up now. I hope everybody understands. But thanks for being so generous. The splurge of generosity there was really nice. Like sunshine in the rain. Lovely. Thanks, guys. Right, so what was we saying about this? Is an uptrend. This AMC, it's got higher lows, it's got higher highs. Also, it's new all-time high up here, and this was, well, a persistently long-time low if it wasn't an all-time low. Aye, well, it's not telling me anything back before 2014, though there was a company there. Yeah, so that is, let's go with it. Right, it's your all-time low. Your Bollinger Bands are distracting me from where the price action comes and puts a little bit there. $2. Pardon me. Thank you very much. Manifest density. Mr. Senor, Mr. Generous makes Fitzpatrick, and it goes to Dan. What did I see when I posted on Twitter about 10 times that GME is going to explode? It was like a number of things, eh? It was like a number of things that had been building up for a while, and a couple of different indicators that had gone off. And, you know, I thought like, hey, a couple of ones that I'll get around to talking about probably over the next few weeks, I imagine. And things that like are interesting again now. But a long answer to that question, really, which would involve like explaining the stuff back with the TD sequential and what happened afterwards, and then how other things were firing off, and then the nature of price action at one particular point, and it put in this really, really nice bullish engulfing candle, and that at the same time as the historical volatility on the smaller time frames now is becoming relevant in a way that it hadn't done before. And then it cuts, as I say, a couple of indicators. And then when it went through the parabolic SAR on the 4 hour, I knew I was right. It went on another of that same move, another 100% of it, I think. Loads of times. But there's loads of things. Like, it's usually something different from the net time before. And that time it wasn't no different. But there was a little bit of a difference there in that it was also a retest. And if it was going to happen, it was going to happen. And I was like, you never know for sure, right? You never know with these things for sure. But I was like, well, based on my edge, right? The MACD, the RSI, Rocket Crops, DMI, Parabolic SAR, the Donchian channels, what I'd build in on top of that with the KST from when I need it. On that occasion, I would have. And then a couple other things. Talking about the TD sequential, like those things but speak to the same idea, things that measure the strength of a trend as that trend is potentially ending, which camera I'm at here. And so yeah, sure, we'll get them up. One of them is the thing that Rocky's been working on for a while, an indicator which he takes time on and off from, so a bit hesitant to speak about that. And another thing is a bit it's made out of, so maybe Rocky's the best person to ask. But like there wasn't anything that wasn't going on the normal TA that I do here all the time. So if you're watching like the day before that I posted that on Twitter, which you might well have been, Mike, then you'll have noticed that for like 4 or 5 days I'd been saying something weird's happening. Like if it looks like it's about to take a bigger than normal move, and for a variety of reasons, including volatility and the way I use it and the way I look across different indicators, and the way Rocky like tries to build it into things that might have an opportunity for it, eh? Anyway, what am I talking about? I don't even know if I'm answering the question properly. The day that I posted that on Twitter, how did I know it was going to explode? The exact reason why I was posting it at that point, I can't remember. I made 10 different... I was like, I have to get the message across. I even messaged other people and was like, will you please share these? Can't remember exactly. Jail isn't bad, but I know that there was a number of reasons over 3 or 4 days that were firing off different indicators. There was something, it was the night before again. It was one of those late at night tweets where instead of making a video, I did that. Poor BB, Jamie isn't late till there. Isn't it late there? It is a wee bit. I gotta do the AMC. Oh my god, it's midnight. Oh my goodness, it's midnight. Oh my goodness, it's midnight on a Thursday, and I've got Tradesloshing Fridays tomorrow. So we'll make it brief. The AMC, right? So it's an uptrend, all-time low, all-time high. You know, right? Within that, you've made an amazing move. You've not even dropped below your 236 of this Fibonacci. Here it comes in here, 37.97. Right? You may have got close. Is that 236? Can't even see anything here anymore. Can you please? Can you please move? Could you please move? Have I got 2 Fibonacci's here? I just drew it on top of a little tiny wee one. Anyway, yes, so Jesus, this is not the best way to start the AMCTA. I'm supposed to be professional so that people see it and think it's good. Mike, it was some Neo Matrix stuff, my brother. I didn't include Neo in the... and I did though consider it when I was looking for like, who are the people people will listen to these characters. Neo was a good one. I should have used more of him at that point. Maybe I'll take that on board now, actually. I've shown everyone who will listen how you called it. I was, but didn't see that. You were watching me at the time, but didn't see that. Maybe Well, I could go back over it, and I'm trying to go back over things with little bits here and there with dead money. Though I really owe him a lot of my time now to go over some of these moves, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to explain why I was able to call them afterwards, like because those videos, which would be great for getting new members to the channel and getting people to believe in TA and then actually use it properly. And I thought it would be like good if I could explain along with it why I took what move at the time. So maybe there'll be an opportunity to do that. I'll write that down, Mike, actually. I look back at it myself and figure out why it was exactly I said what it was at the time, and then do that with perhaps a slightly more obvious with ones that I made specific videos rather than was tweeting about, to remember, like, because I will have been quite explicit. And I'll look back at the tweets and see what it was, and I might have answered somebody in those series of tweets why I thought it was happening. I don't know. The day before I'd also tried to tweet something and talk about the same thing, but it hadn't worked. Simone Kepper! Bang, bang, Simone. We're going to have to chop your head off, Simone. You know it's coming. Oh, is it going to be tomorrow in Tradesloshing Fridays if she's around? If our fair lady is here, Simone. Head chop. Friday. Okay. It's written in the book of records, so you can't get away with it, Simone. Welcome, Simone. Ice the ding-dongs all around. Oh, lovely. This is how you know GME really, really knows the shit. All the doubting fannies out there. Where are these doubting fanny Tommy's? Yeah, it's a word for work speaks for itself, eh? Plus, I'm still in the game, still with a very good record, still trying to help people. Whereas everyone else is like, you kind of see that they're actually like going a little bit crazy, eh? You see, some of them are going actually like a little bit crazy. And I'm not. I've got a severe sleep deprivation, and I'm still holding it together. So come on, guys. Hey. Just looking at you, Charlie's vids. I think Charlie's vids, underneath it all, haven't seen, like, people have sent me the stuff, but he slagged me off it. And over time, I think that he's like both gone slightly crazy and also been quite like revealed a degree of humanity I quite like about the guy. I hope that we end up getting on, but. I haven't got time for his pish. Much love, big failer. Mike Fitzpatrick, much love to you, my friend. I'll try and put that in. I wrote it down on explain why I decided to make these calls ahead of big moves in the video explaining them. Yes, that sentence is terrible, but I know what it means. Guess what, my brother? I made 3,000 today because I listened when you and your brother say something. Simone! That's fantastic. Couldn't have happened to a nicer person. I'm fucking delighted to hear that you made some money. Well done. Listen to us saying believe in yourself, trust in your convictions, and then make them based on the evidence. And that evidence giving you the good things. Google the legend of the best Ronald McDonald ever. A true story of death and valor. What I wrote from the secret world of the US Ronald clan. Awesome. What's it called? The legend of the best Ronald McDonald ever. That sounds interesting. So copy that. Copy that. Call me Shirley. And then I've got it. The legend of. I've got the untold truth of Ronald McDonald. Oh, the legend of. No, that's the legend of Grimace Island. The untold truth of Ronald McDonald. Maybe it's the untold truth. In which case, that's what I'm looking at. Ironically, I have excellent hygiene. What's ironic about that? Oh, yes, your name. That is, I suppose, then. Super chat that. That came up on the screen, but do I see here? Yeah, it's here. I have been day trading in the itchy monkey cloud. Yes, excellent. Day trading in the itchy monkey cloud. Fantastic. It's lovely. Sticky, icky, itchy monkey cloud. It's great, isn't it? Touch that band, jump the fuck out of it. Touch this band, jump the fuck in there. You're below the 200, makes a difference. You're above the 50, also makes a difference. You're in a significant downtrend, go with the trend. Get out of the clouds, touches. I like it, Simone. Good to hear. Tradespotting, that might work better than the vid I'm working on. the one with every prediction, or for a better word, will end up really, really long, even with tight editing. Yeah, no, I know dead money. I was also thinking, like, maybe we can put these bits in and those bits. And I was, like, going through my computer yesterday, and Rocky was helping me, making sure I didn't delete any of the videos that were in bits that you'd already talked about. Because I was like, oh, I could use this bit without the green screen, without me having done the NAF effects, and put that in, and that'd look better. And that. So I've still got those things. I am trying to help, but not speaking much because I'm stupid and not making any of my targets. Sorry. That won't work better than you're working on one and have been for ages, and it won't work better than it. It'll be me explaining in the comments underneath or in a live video watching it here with you guys why I made the calls that I did, so that other people can then cross-reference and learn those type of things. But there'll be no getting out of it for neither of us. Not now. Not after everything. That is a good payday. Booking rate. Come on, Simone. 0M for Simone. If it was, if we could have it like this is the trading arena, I'd be here. Come on, Simone, fucking come on. That my friend thinks you're cute, GME. She says, hi. Thanks very much, dead boy. Appreciated. Hi friend. There was a fight between 69, 70 and 71. Haha. Congratulations, 70. Right, so AMC, TA, an uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. At this point, what you did was you put in what could conceivably be a bull flag with this dip outside of it at the start. Similar as you can see here, or maybe you can't because, but there's the similar channel. You can also say perhaps it was a pennant like that. You can do the same thing on here, this current time frame, and now you see this evolving to be what it is. See that there was a measured move from inside this channel and another from inside the pennant. Here's your channel, break out the top side of that thing. Takes you into where the wicks of these came from. That was positive. Then you had a little bit of a hesitation and another move. The further measured move off this from the pennant. First high to first low, take that drop on. That's the bottom here where you retraced when price action had made its all-time high and came back again. That's that part of the move. And then it also was a bull flag, and it came from this low to this high, and oops, didn't want to grab that Fibonacci, and then you take that on and you see, look, that's similar. It takes you up with inside this to your low within the formation subsequently anyway. Does this go on to do something similar? Does the number of measured moves on the top side of this thing? Is it a bull flag? Is it an pennant? Is it a descendant? Is it a descending channel? Is it a wedge? Is it sort of an M-shaped double top and price is going to come back down again? These are the sort of questions you're asking yourself. It's above the 236, so you think this is a local low. On the smaller time frames or on the weekly here, you can see bullish divergence that agrees with it. You've held the 236, gone to the 618, come back again, tested the 236. You've held it, you're above it. You're also above the 236 that this is put in from its low to its all-time high. We did that Fibonacci earlier. Here it is here. You're holding the 236, so you can't even really define this as a top. AMC hasn't even put in a local high, despite the fact that it's broken through an all-time high. Fuck, I'm back on the wrong charts again. Thanks very much, Mizzy. And here we are, right? So now you can see much better. Ha! Jokes! Only joking. I don't know how long I'd done that, right? Maybe you've seen what I was doing. It wasn't particularly important in detail other than to say like that the nature of what was going on and how that might likely be repeatable. And the extension on a log chart, when you take these out, you can see that increasing each high one after the other becomes like a slightly less of an extension of the one before, until such times as the move has properly done a test, either like dropping below the 236 of the total move and testing the moving average, or something similar. I see I've managed to delete the moving averages here, so I can't add them, but how's that then, mate? 1, 2, 3, 4. Get out of town. Oh, it's because I've got the moving averages down here. Bim bong. Can you move up? I just want you to move up. I don't want this faff. Yeah, so you didn't test the 200, nor the 50, nor the 55 exponential. You've only got up to the 18, right? Exponential is like incredibly bullish, and we're on a weekly time frame testing that. Nothing, right? Bounce up again, great. Like I talked about before briefly, is it a channel? Is it a flag? Is it a pennant? And what's the measured move? And all of those that took you up to here and defined price action within this range are also likely to repeat. So logarithmic chart, you won't expect the same percentage increase to be represented, though the similar dollar one maybe. You see the tightening of that trend as it comes to some sort of a test, like I say, 250 or something else. Like you've got your 1272, 141, 1618. These are extensions with Fibonacci. Within this period of consolidation, these are the targets, depending on what sort of move you make out of here and how bullish it is. This is all speaking as if it's going to break out to the top side, because I perfectly intend to think that it intends to do so. It's held to 236. You've just got the Rick and Morty lips on the weekly time frame. I talked about how these things here will become relevant as we drop down. There you can see them slightly better on the 3-day time frame, where prices on the RSI are all holding the center line, very bullish. Down to the 2-day time frame, you can see they're coming slightly more relevant, where we've dropped below the center line, dropped below its own moving average. Price action putting in a higher low though. Daily time frame, right here. See, this looks like these 3 troughs. The third one's come with a lot of divergence. You've also got a lot less momentum that's like convergent in that sense. A lot less momentum here. Not convergence all over the place in that sense. It's higher lows, and so that would be thought of as continuation. Now, do we go and test the top side of this? And that comes in at around 51. That would be the simple move, and the fake out area within these sort of formations. And you're asking yourself, well, is that not in fact any of these pennants, spool flags, or channels or wedges? And instead, then you're looking to see if you break out the top side of this, anything that doesn't go beyond that level, 618 and the 615. 618 and the 0.65, the golden pocket. If it doesn't go beyond that level, having broken out of this part of price action, I know we're still on daily time frame, so it's quite a big range, but it's 43 to the 53. If it doesn't then get above there on an open and close on a daily time frame, which would expect to have done it long before then on a 4 hour and a 1 hour, but if it doesn't get it all the way at least on those and then up to the daily, it won't go on. But if it does, the 786 is where it'll look to go to next, and that's at $60, at which point I wouldn't think that it would be very likely that this pattern would fail even if you got a retest. But until that point, I'd still be worried for AMC to see if it did it, because it hasn't been in here and put in the same amount of tests of a demand line that GME has done. While you're looking at this now with these drawings on it and these indicators and these measured moves, and that construction and framework around it isn't all that different from GME. There is a difference in that the market participants from GME have demonstrated that they're interested at the demand line a number of times more than the AMC ones have. So this is like full volatile asset. And in more recent past, more volatile, so any move for either is likely to drag them up the other. And so AMC itself doesn't necessarily have to rely on anything in particular other than just like being in a well-positioned place. So covering its own moving average here on the daily time frame, having put in this test on the RSI, as we predicted it would do now, that's completed. That's the buy zone. You're in it there. You're still just making your way above it. 18 period moving average. As soon as you capture that again, you're going to come up, test this cross, a negative cross likely to come in here, the 4 hour and a 200 period moving average. While prices below it, it will happen. Prices will then test that. It's at $42. Expect prices to be at 41.44. Expect them on AMC. And then to fill the gap at 44.20. And that's where you'll see price action going to 44.20, and that's quite a nice number, or nicers, but nicers. That's the lower level of that gap, and it's also likely where price action comes anyway. But there's a white line there; it's horizontal, so we'll need that. It's the golden pocket also up at the top of that. Step up there. I haven't done that move. That'd be interesting, but it wouldn't necessarily be definitive of a breakout yet. And then like I just drawn back onto that. That the 4 hour. Like you have your inverted head and shoulders on your RSI, and that's starting to break out now. So that's going to work out positively. Take you up to the bottom of the bullish control zone. This will take you to here. It's going to 41.44. Whatever, it's going there. 1 hour, right, there you go. Very positive sign, RSI and whatnot. 15, 30 minutes. You're below your 200. You had your positive cross here on the MACD. That was at your low. You had at the same time RSI signature saying that it's going to 41.44, 15 minutes. Positive end, that's good. The only thing I don't trust about this is not it itself, it's SPY. It's total piece of shit. That's a load of lies. There's a huge gap below there. It's only filling a different gap by getting up to this gap and creating that. It's a big total poo in your eye for anyone who thought things had got better. You've still got another test now. Lower in your 433 area, screaming for it. You've got this 2 levels of horizontal here at 434, 435, screaming out for price action on all important time frames. And then question is, does it go in and put in a lower low after that, or is there some degree of interest on the momentum or somewhere else? At the minute it's failing despite trying harder, so like I expect this gap to be filled without being too long. Maybe it's just tomorrow straight away, maybe it's the start of next week. Anywho, who cares? What we all care about now and have cared about since as soon as you saw me and knew that tomorrow was Friday is Tradesloshing Fridays. How many people here? 124. Thanks everybody for being here on the Thursdays and joining things with me. It's really appreciated. I know that I act like all big-headed sometimes or joking about how great I am because I get the price action. I know there's more important things in life than being able to predict the price action, so one of them's being nice to you guys, and you guys being nice to people, and I appreciate so much for being nice to me. Thanks for all the donations, all the kind words, all the nice time you put in with watch time and all, as I always say and haven't maybe said recently, but mean it, you know. Always be nice to the people who've loved you your whole life before you do anything for me. I'm here to help you guys and appreciate all the help you've put in on my behalf and the channel's behalf. It's amazing. It's got us to where we are. I appreciate it, but always remember, be kind to those people who are good to you. Thanks so much to everybody who's kind to me. So many of yous. Thanks. Thursdays ahead of... It would be Thursday, because, yeah. I need to come up with better names, because I'm not sure if people who've not heard of me before think Wet Your Pants Wednesday with Tradespotting is something they want to watch. I don't know. Mind you, I was quite aware of that when I came up with the name. But who knows? Who knows? Right, SPY. Fuck you, you liar. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go to bed. Probably say that, but I'll be on Twitter arguing in half an hour. Tradespotting, you're the bestest. Thanks. Observe thyself. You guys are amazing. You're all dead nice. All of yous. You too, my lady, are a special person. Thanks. Yeah, Mizzy, thanks for being nice. Thanks for everybody. Thanks, Mike. You were freaking dead good to me today, Mike. Thanks everybody else, Dan, as always. Everybody, I wish I had credits and I could say thanks, but I can't do. But I'm saying it now, right? I'm gonna, yes, you're saying it to me. And then what we do just to say, congratulations, thanks. From cat doing a bong. There we go. A little bit of a bong for the cat. And remember, folks, bing bong. Thanks, Simone. Bing bong, the price is wrong. His name was Tony Pecus. He bled the red away so that we could enjoy the green. That shiny green that matches our watermelon uniforms. If you've got a stinky one, buy some fresh watermelons and sort it out. You have become one of the people in our lives that we love. Ha! Saying, well, I love yous too. You're desperately important to me. All of yous are. Right, so you better take care of each other and that. Fucking, I can't imagine what I'd feel like if something happened to anybody. You better take care of yourself, right? Thanks very much. Be nice to the other. Love you. Oh, good night. Thanks. That's the right camera. Yes, that's the right camera. Remember, folks, I'm not mad. And bing bong.